Good afternoon, gentlemen. It's the Date Master. We're going to talk about a serious topic today. We're going to talk about whores and whoremongers, the psychological effects of toxic sex. I was talking to one of my good brothers. We've been down maybe over 20 years, and we was talking about normal relationship stuff, women, the type of women we want to pick, not rushing in anything and analyzing the women that you find attractive, that you want to become intimate with, etc. And I wanted to point out that there are these type of people, men and women alike, and I chose to take a path to not be a whoremonger any longer. One would ask, well, what makes you a whoremonger, date master? Well, a whoremonger is a man who sleeps around carelessly with multiple women with no intent to pour anything into them. Now, I'm not just going to say I'm just this moral, this Bible thumping person because I do not follow Christianity, but I do see the truths in the 42 laws of might, which again turn into the 10 commandments and so forth. And by all means, you can have your own code. It just has to be one of moral value. As long as you have a code. A whoremonger is a man who does not pretty much have a code when it comes to sleeping with women. I choose to not, or to no longer sleep with married women. I choose to no longer deal with women who are engaged in any type of committed relationship via boyfriend or other. And the thing about women, whores, they have these correlational characteristics. It'll be a fool to think this is an honest whore. The only honest whores you're gonna find are the ones that walk the blade. If you're in Vegas, you're in Figueroa, you're in these markets where prostitution is somewhat legal, if not all the way legal. That is the only way you'll find an honest whore because it's a transactional experience. It's cash for ass. But the modern day whore, she does not have any type of code. She's a get it by any means. You have these women who will sleep with men, let men do all type of things to them for monetary gain, for clout, and for materialistic things. They just don't have a code. So they will lay with anyone whom they can benefit from. And then you have the other type of whore, which I would say that's more of a slut. The slut is a woman who wants to, she finds sexual pleasure. She finds sexual pleasure in dealing with men of the same crew that know one another. She's messy. The slut is a messy woman. A whore she's just insatiable. She has an insatiable appetite for sex. And in some cases, she wants to get an orgasm. Some cases, she wants to get the orgasm and other benefits. But yeah, I think the whore and slut, they get mixed up. The slut is a woman. She finds pleasure in having messy sex, meaning she's going to fuck the best friends. She's going to fuck the cousins. She's going to deal with the homeboys. That's more of a slut. But as men, we tend to become whoremongers because we get into these toxic relationships not knowing, and because of the hurt, because we feel that we've lost out, she played us first. Mind you, the only time a woman truly gets angry with you is when she cannot manipulate you, or in the event that you leave her before she can leave you. That's where the bitterness comes from. She cannot manipulate you, change you, mold you into the guy or the slave that she wants. So she turns bitter because she's done all the nasty things she really did not want to do, because on one regard, she did not find you that you were not her sexual preference. So she feel that she settled or leveled down her taste in men for you because she felt that you would be more malleable. You'll be more moldable for her needs, emotional and physical. The other part is if you find her out before she lets you know who she is, because they will always unveil their mask. If you leave her or put her in the dugout or get rid of her, that is when she's going to breed contempt. She's going to go to all of her friends. Her friends see you out, they're not going to speak to you, which is fine. It's fine. But these are some of the truths that a lot of women don't want us to know. And I've told you before, I'm initiated. I've been around the block many a times. And when I tell women this that I deal with, I tell them, hey, I know what I'm talking about. I know women like the back of my hand now. I've studied, I put over 10,000 hours in learning, intentional learning, after the experience at a younger age. I went back and did the work. They think I'm just talking when I say that I can read you like a book. And I told women this, I can read you. I know what you're going to do before you do it. But what this does, you get into these toxic relationships and you feel the residual effects of resentment because on one hand, you had great intentions with this woman. You were honest. You were, about the business. You did what you say you were going to do. Now, you may not have a perfect slate, of course, but you tolerated disrespect on somewhat minor levels, and a lot of times on major levels, which is a no-no. It's zero tolerance for disrespect. The moment a woman disrespects you is the moment she reveals her true feelings about you. Because again, I already made the example in other videos. You have women who have been on their jobs 25 years, has yet to get an attitude with their white male supervisor, has yet to cut an eye at their white male supervisors on the job 5-10 years. Not one attitude, not one snapback, not one argument, but come home and give you shit 2 to 3 times a week, if not every day. So with these toxic relationships that go left, you build up this resentment because you had good intentions. You wanted to be more to her, and you started doing the work. So that took some time away from her. That took some attention and some energy away from her needs, because she could not see the long ball. That's why women want ready-made situations. So all of these saying these cliche sayings behind every great man is a good woman, that's only after he becomes good. And the label of great only becomes because now he has a family. The family is the cherry on top. It's almost as if a pastor of a church, he's not going to be revered as a great pastor until he has a family and replicates himself and displays the behavior with his family that he shows in his church. For those of you who've grown up in the church, a single man trying to be a pastor, he will be laughed at. Where's your family? Because your things that you teach in the Bible reflect that of family, marriage, loyalty, faith, etc. So to spin into the next leg of this topic, you will look at the psychological effects of toxic sex. Most of the women that you deal with, their best sexual encounters were in toxic relationships. And most men, your best sexual experiences were with toxic women. I don't know why that is. I don't make the rules. This is just the case, and I know you can relate. The craziest women, the women that displayed the most unstableness in her emotions, usually gave you the best sex, because her emotions go up and down, and at her emotional peak, when she spazzes out the most, that's when her sexual energy is the highest, and she's ready to relinquish that, which makes her volatile and more likely to be unfaithful. It makes her more likely to step out, because in a lot of cases, men will shut down and they don't even want to engage in the sex anymore because the woman is too toxic. So what you think she's going to do with that energy? You think she's just going to sit on it? Energy has to stay in motion. It really cannot be contained. She's not just going to sit on that energy. So when a woman has a sexual relationship with a man who she knows she should not be with, or who she knows is not good for her, usually it's unprotected. The woman gets pregnant. In some cases, she may have a miscarriage. Some cases she may be manipulated into having an abortion. All the above, it will still leave residual psychological effects on her. So in a lot of cases, her sexual history matters. That's why women are guarding their body counts and things of that nature like a safe. That's why they're not going to tell you what they did in their past, because they know that's going to trigger an alarm in your head. The psychological effects of toxic sex is very real. She's, especially when you look at a miscarriage, a woman who has a miscarriage, she wanted to have a child with that man. No matter how toxic he was, she wanted to be connected to that man because he was the one who imprinted her. So in a lot of cases, she's going to go out her way to replace that feeling with another child, to get rid of the old feeling. So she wants to have another child with you because that urge is still inside of her. That life force is still inside of her, which died. And there's a lot of work, extensive work, that is necessary to heal. There's a lot of work necessary to heal a woman who's had an abortion. These things do not just go away. We are in a society that think you can, let me give you the vacation jab, and yeah, everything is going to be okay. I was in a restaurant eating lunch yesterday, and I was hearing a guy talk about older white gentlemen. Yeah, I got vacated and etc. But for whatever reason, I have a headache about 2 hours out the day. He's speaking on the negative implications of the getting the jab. So in our society, they tell you, hey, yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Go to Dr. Miami. Let him cut half of your ass off and let him suck some of your stomach out. And he's going to put it in your ass because he's dressed this up in a document that in a process and in a presentation that looks legitimate. These women are doing it and dying or setting themselves up to die. They may not die right off the back, but catch them in 5-6 years. Catch them in 7 years and see how they look, see how they're moving around, if they are still around. That is why 70% of marketing and commercials are catered to women, because women are gullible. But in this instance, or in the same breath, they'll tell you they're smarter than men. What man goes to a doctor and let him suck fat out of his thigh to stuff it in his dick? Who does this at the rate that women do? Who goes to a beautician and say, hey, put someone else's hair in my head whom I don't know? Yes, this is real human hair, and they brag about the features of it. Hey, yes, put this up. Yeah, this is real human hair. Yeah, put this other human's hair in my head. Yes, I want this look. And walk around with pride. A beautiful fool is what she is, and I've said this before. The psychological effects of toxic sex are residual, and if a woman does not do the work, which in most cases she won't, because you be damned if you hold me accountable and tell me I had work to do on myself. They're just going to paint it over. They'll get a new hairdo. They'll get new makeup, a new nail layout, filler, filter, whatever you want to call it, and say, hey, I'm happy, I'm okay. And next thing you know, you're seeing her post hundreds of pictures on her social media trying to mask and comfort herself, knowing she's damaged, knowing she has all type of traumas that she does not want to address. Because once you open up a woman's demons to her, it is a very vulnerable place for her. And I tell women, I've laid with women. I had women cry on my chest after giving them the space to confide in me. And their secrets will be secrets until I leave this plane. I've had women cry on my chest about their traumas. I've confided in women about my traumas, which I engage or encourage you guys to not do, because a woman does not respect any moment of weakness from a man. But me doing the work, not dealing with any depression anymore. I'm not dealing with any insomnia. And this is for about a year or two, about 2-3 years now I'm going on, this journey of correcting. But most women won't do this work because it's difficult to face your traumas. It's difficult to face the demons and the choices that you've made. So whores and the whoremongers tend to congregate to self-medicate. Hey, let's lay down and have the nastiest sex because I don't want to deal with what's really eating me up inside. So I need these feelings of euphoria. And in most of these cases, you have a lot of ingredients. You have the liquor, you have the Casamigos, not plugging them, but you have the Patron, you have the weed, you have the mushrooms, you have all of these additional ingredients that go into this toxic cocktail, this toxic lust cocktail in which only will last a few moments. The feelings of euphoria will only last a few moments before the demons come back and say, hey, I'm back. And now I got to do it all over and over and over and over. But you guys let me know what you think about this video. I definitely want to do a part 2 to this. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the Date Master.